Here is Fiesta La Luna, who we call Fiesta, and this mare, I really love her. She's got to be maybe my favorite mare I've ever had, or top three. There is just something about her that is just so lovely. She's beautiful and she's kind and she's sweet and she has a great way of going, a super attitude. And Billy and I are both just totally smitten with her, and we love having her here. And there's just not a thing I don't like about her. So today she had her second post-track ride, and she is she is just so human oriented. She just wants to be where people are all the time. So right after I got on, I realized that my little basset hound Gus had wandered over to the neighbors, so we were calling him back. And in the middle of calling for him, I realized that she was just standing there like a perfect like staff horse or something, just totally hanging out while I carried on being ridiculous, calling for my basset hound. So Billy took a little video of her because she's just so cute and perfect. So, Fiesta La Luna, she is a 3-year old. She's a 2023, so she is a 3-year old. Technically, she is a 2-year old still until March 24th. She's got about another week until her third birthday. So she's just a very young horse. And she did have 6 career starts, so she's well broke. She's lived a little, she's seen some stuff. And she is extremely well broke. I mean, this is only her second post track ride. I didn't lunge her or anything before I got on. She has a great brain. She's happy to work. However, she is not hot or sensitive in any way, shape, or form. But she is a very young baby horse. So I am certainly, my expectations for her are not nearly as strict as they would be, for a horse that's another year or two older than her. Of course, she has to do all the basics, right? She needs to steer, she needs to move forward from your legs, she needs to whoa when you ask her to whoa, and all that stuff. She does all those things. I mean, of course, she's a little wiggly. She's technically still a 2-year-old, but in general, her steering is very good for her age and experience level. Interestingly, she's actually a little bit straighter and easier to steer to the right. To the left, you'll see when we're going to the left that she'll just be a little bit more wiggly off the track. To the left, she'll lean a little bit on the left shoulder at times, but absolutely nothing outside the realm of totally normal. She is learning to understand the contact, and with such a young horse, especially, that's something that I feel like you need to be very patient about. And we want her to learn to understand that the contact is a good thing and to want to seek it out and to feel like that's a safe space to be. So I certainly don't want her to have any sort of negative experience with working on starting to understand the connection. So I'm doing this very softly and lightly, trying to sort of help her just to see the way that being connected and starting to use yourself a little bit actually feels good and puts you in a safer place. And she certainly actually she started to figure it out today. This is just the beginning of her ride, but she actually figured it out first in the canter, in this right canter. So she starts softening up a little bit here, having a little bit of a conversation with me, and so these were the sort of the first moments where I felt like I started getting some connection in the canter, which is great because it's so easy to work on the trot. I always find that it's most important that the work in the canter comes naturally, which for her it certainly did. And these are some good steps here where she is starting to sort of talk to me and use her top line a little bit. And she just has a lovely canter in general. I think all her gaits are lovely. She actually just ran on March 1st. So she is a little over 2 weeks since her last career start. So she is very recently post track. She had 6 total starts, and her racehorse career makes perfect sense. She first started in September of last year, and she's had about a start every month since, and she placed in 1 out of 6 of her races. I want to say it was her third one, and her last couple starts she was not very competitive, so it just makes perfect sense that they gave it a good go, good college try, and it just wasn't her jam. So here she is. She was so funny with the contact. So she started to get the gist of it in the canter, and then when we came out of the canter, here I am working on the trot a little bit, and you can see here she's starting to get it. But then she just she was just like, oh, okay, this feels kind of good. You know what would feel even better would just be if I just did a huge stretch and it was just so funny and she just wanted to sort of take the reins in a very positive, correct way. You know, she's still her nose is out. She's not coming behind the vertical. So she's stretching down and out with her nose poked out in front of her. So it's all very correct. But it was just so funny that she was like, oh, contact. Okay, that means we should stretch. And she just really sort of ran away with it. The only thing that's kind of difficult about that is that then you can see here, she sort of comes up a little bit, which of course that's going to happen, but I'm on a longer rein because she's been wanting to stretch. So then it's like I'm a little discombobulated because my reins are too long now to recorrect. So it takes me a second. But I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's supposed to be messy sometimes. It's not supposed to be perfect, especially at this stage. But here she's just giving me some really good steps and feelings, starting to sort out the contact plus the stretch all at the same time. It was very cute. And then you'll see here, I'm losing the left shoulder a little bit, but then as soon as I get that shoulder straight again, she's like, oh, this is great. Let me put my nose on the ground. So cute here. I love this. And it felt great. I could actually feel her start to, bring up her back and use her top line a bit as we were going around here. This is great. So now we're going to the left, and you'll see a little bit here. I'm not trying um, to come off the rail there. I would prefer to stay in a straight line down the long side, but just a little bit more wiggly to the left, which is just no big deal. It's so to be expected. She really started to get that contact so nicely to the right that I was hoping to recreate it a bit to the left, which she does. She really does get it. It takes her a minute or two to sort of reconfigure herself to the left, but she gets it. There we go. There's some good steps. And these are some good steps here too. Yeah, really good there. Really good left canter transition. Such a good girl. She actually does a really cute canter transition both ways. And her canter is just lovely. I'm not sitting the canter yet just because I feel like um, she's just so young and I'm babying her a bit. There's nothing wrong with that. She deserves to be babied because she's so perfect. And she's so balanced in the canter that and so willing to engage that it's actually really easy to start to have this conversation with her about balance and connection, with me staying in a little bit of a half seat. And I thought that actually the left is a slightly more challenging direction, but she just gave me the most beautiful left canter here to end our ride that I thought was fantastic. It was just super, super balanced and light, and I really was doing so little. And then here she starts giving me some connection. Yeah, this is good here. such a good girl. I was very happy with her today. So here she is on the ground. My farrier had just been here and he had just left. So you see my dogs are sort of swarming her because of course they want the clippings from the horses getting done. And Fiesta was a superstar about ignoring them and their chaos that they were bringing to the scene.